Define what the scientists have said hope is. Because yes, hope is a nice positive emotion. True, it is. However, a positive emotion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another time that we get to connect on Masterpiece Conversations. Hope you're doing well. My name is Tina, and I'll be your host today as we talk about Thanksgiving and how gratitude is important as we get into the end of the year. I am excited because I get to sit with a sister friend. We go way back. And I know that as we talk about some of these things, you are going to learn, I am going to learn, we're going to share our stories and how they all come together to make us grateful people. I believe that we can be thankful no matter what is going on in our lives. Are you ready? Are you excited? And you know what? Let me take a minute to say thank you. Thank you all for last week's, fundraiser, for joining, for showing your support. We are still, continuing with our Giving Tuesday program. And if you haven't given, you still stand the opportunity to give today, become a gem, make an impact in someone else's life. All right, so let's get started. Let's welcome our friend, our sister, Abba Achu, to join us today. Hello.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
glad to be here today on Masterpiece
It's good to see you.
Conversation.
I don't think we sat on Masterpiece to talk before, have we?
No, we haven't.
Uh-huh.
It's rather unfortunate.
So you see, it's such a busy world. Although we've talked, I think Abba has done a video for us also in the past, but today we get to sit with her. And last week she was on the fundraiser as well, but today we get to sit with her, and I want you to get to meet her a little bit. I will tell you about Abba. She is a nurse, and she lives in Connecticut. She's a mother. She's a wife, and she has 3 amazing kids, right? So I will let Abba introduce herself because I believe that there are some things about Abba that I don't want to share until she shares it with us. So Abba, in your own words, who is Abba Atru?
So, Abba is a mom. Like Tina said, I'm a registered nurse by profession.
Hmm.
I have 3 kids. I'm married to my lovely husband, Frederick. I originally come from Ghana in West Africa.
Yeah.
And I am a Fanti, so I come from the central part of Ghana, but I was born and raised in the western part of Ghana. So
Uh,
Takrady to be precise.
I see.
So this is a little gist about myself.
A
I
little.
love cooking. I love traveling. I like making new friends.
Right, right. And you love to smile.
And I love to smile. That's the biggest one.
Well, Abba, we're excited to have you with us today on this masterpiece conversation. A week before Thanksgiving, a few days actually before Thanksgiving. Welcome if you're joining us online, whether you're on YouTube, on Facebook. Just know that we are excited to have you. You can actually share with us where you're joining from so we can acknowledge you as well. But welcome. So happy to have you here. So, Abba, we are talking about gratitude. You know, as we end this year, we know that there's a lot of things that have gone on these past few years and even this year. So let's talk about gratitude. How important is gratitude anyway? Especially as we end this year. Some of us have had a great year, others have not. But how is gratitude important? Why do we have to even focus on it? Let's talk about that.
Thank you. Gratitude is very important because um, as Christians, our God, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, um, gave an example in Luke 17 when
Hmm.
he healed those 10 lepers, and only one person came back to give thanks. he
Wow.
asks of where the nine are.
Mm.
So if this is what Jesus was requiring of the people, even though he did not say, but he
Right.
was expecting them to be thoughtful enough to come back and say thank you.
Yeah.
And for the fact that he questioned it, it means that it is something that is very, very important.
Mm.
And as humans, even when we do something to somebody or we give somebody a gift,
Mm-hmm.
in our natural instinct, we are waiting for a response. So
Absolutely.
if that person doesn't call you back and show gratitude, you might not say anything. But in you, you feel like that person is ungrateful and is not going to receive that kindness or gesture from you next time. You might not
Absolutely.
utter any word, but it's in you. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say that gratitude, it should be a natural instinct. It should be something that
Yeah.
comes to us easily, because even if somebody gives you something, like I said, and
Yeah.
you don't say thank you,
Mm.
they are expecting you to say thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Wow.
think gratitude is very, very important, and it's just not even being a Christian, but just in our world, people expect others to be grateful
Right.
for every kind act that they have received. So
Mm.
that's what I would say. Gratitude is very, very important.
Amazing. But it's interesting because for some of us who are immigrants in this new world or wherever we find ourselves, sometimes we look at gratitude in a certain way. Some people are really thankful. And then some people will say, oh, for instance, Abba, you have a good, temperament. That's why you're always happy-go-lucky type of person. So for me, I don't have that personality. So it's okay for me to be sour and always look on the dark side of things. Is it just temperament, or do we just have to choose gratitude daily? Because we're doing this book on choosing gratitude, which says that it's an effort. It's something you have to put an effort in to be grateful. It's not going to come to you like, some people it does, but not a lot of people. So
Mhm.
is there an effort that has to be made for gratitude to happen?
Yes, it is. It is. I think that if we don't know something, we have to learn.
Mm,
And
mm,
the
mm.
more we practice, we get better.
Right.
Like you said, some people, gratitude occurs to them. Some people, it's just their natural nature. That's how they are. Some people, naturally, they are bubbly, they are lively, they are easygoing people. Some people, they are not like that. So it
Mm,
could be a temperamental thing, but then also I think it's something that people can learn to be.
right. Right.
People can learn. So if you are not that kind of person that it easily comes to you, you can learn to do it, to show appreciation, to be gratitude, to show gratitude to people, to
Mm,
smile. Because some people, it doesn't come to them naturally to smile. Some people,
mm.
when you meet with them, their first, like, when you meet them, your first, I don't
Impression.
know, the impression that you have of them, it might not be exactly what they are trying to portray,
Hmm.
but they've been like that. They're always like that. They're not people who are bubbly, they don't smile, they always like look like they are frown their face and they are mad at the world. But that's not exactly maybe what they are trying to portray. But because they've always been like that,
Right.
that's exactly how people see you.
Mm,
They
mm,
say first impressions count.
right.
So if you're not that kind of person and I meet you and you have that kind of look, that's what I'm going to perceive. That
Mm,
either you are mad at me or you are mad at something. So I
right.
think you don't know how to have that kind of bubbly nature, smile and be happy, easygoing, thankful. We have to learn. It's something that we can
Mm,
learn because
yeah.
it's an attitude.
Yeah. It's an
So
attitude.
we can learn.
We can learn it. Absolutely. And when you say that, I'm looking at how the whole Thanksgiving culture started here in America, right? Where you have
Mhm.
pilgrims who traveled to a new land, they came in, they had all the challenges, even just moving from, England here. it was just a challenge. And then coming, trying to settle, so many people dying, figuring it out. I feel like that is our stories as immigrants. We also try to come to a new land to have, try to make things happen and things work for us, but it's not always easy. And sometimes it's so easy to choose I'm here, but I'm just like this bitter, 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 bitter lemon every time complaining, every time complaining. And I remember one person said, if it's that bad in America, why don't you come home?
That's it.
Why don't you come home? But can we be thankful even in a strange place, like in a foreign place, right? We can it's sometimes scary, it's sometimes challenging, just coming to a new world, coming to America, coming to a place that you don't have family sometimes and all that. Can we still be thankful in those situations?
Yes. Yes, I strongly agree that we can.
Mm,
Because when I talked about that Luke 17 story
yeah.
about Jesus and the lepers coming back, actually the Samaritan person who came back to Jesus to say thanks was an immigrant. So when
Right? It
you
was
think
a foreigner.
it was a foreign, he wasn't coming from that country. So you may ask yourself, where are the people who are the natives? Where are
Natives.
they?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
this is a big thing that I actually learned from that.
Mm,
But as immigrants, we traveled to seek a better life
right.
somewhere. And then in this case, we are in America. And America is the strongest nation on earth. Everybody wants to be in America.
Mhm.
Like you said, there are always two sides. Sometimes people come here as immigrants, things work for them. Sometimes it doesn't work for them. But we still have to be grateful regardless, because wherever you might have hailed from, the life over there might still the life over here might still be better compared to the life of
Mm,
wherever you came from. In this is America is a developed nation. Coming from Africa or some part of Africa is not developed nation. So even the resources that we have here, we
mm,
don't have that. You might not have that back home, wherever you came from. But
mm,
so that alone should cause you to be thankful, because I come from Ghana, and where I grew up, if if I'm just being honest, it has been a blessing being in this country as an immigrant. Even if I did not land my dream job or get a better job or still get like a six-figure job, I will still be grateful to God, because why? I don't see mosquitoes in this country. Back home in Ghana, where I grew up from, you cannot sit outside in the evening.
mm.
You cannot you want fresh air. And fresh air is a right, it's not a privilege. But when you want to sit outside just to enjoy fresh air, these mosquitoes will not leave you alone. But if I want to have fresh air over here, I can go sit outside. Even if I'm gonna have some flies or some bugs, I still have bug spray to use.
Mm, mm,
I never had bug spray when I was in Ghana. So these are some of the little things when we really pay attention to,
yeah,
we will be grateful.
right.
We will be grateful because when
We've
you
come a long way.
when you compare those two lives, these lives, it's like two different worlds. And sometimes people become disgruntled and become ungrateful because they say, I've been in this country for 10 years, I've been here for 20 years, I've
Mm,
still not landed my dream jobs, I haven't been able to acquire what I want, but at least you have a better life.
mhm, mhm.
Back home growing up, some people had to share rooms. Here, you might not be sharing a room with somebody. And even if you are sharing a room, you might not be six or seven people in a room.
Absolutely.
Or you don't have to sleep on the rooftop. People sleep on the rooftop and they're still grateful to God.
Wow.
So once you are in this country, I think you should no matter the circumstance, if you have not landed your dream job, your dream career, whatever you aspire to be, I think that you can always achieve that with time. But wherever, where you are right now, whatever place you are right now, you still have to be grateful.
Yeah. But it looks like you have it all together. It looks like when you came to America, you got everything up and running, and you actually just, you look beautiful. Like, that's why you're talking like that, right? You didn't even have to stay with anybody. You just came and you bought your first house, and look at how I mean, you got this. Is that your story?
No, no,
Seriously, sis?
no. That's not my story.
Tell your story, girl.
That's not my story because you always have to start from somewhere. And
Ah.
somebody once told me that for you to have a big jump, you have to go back.
Mm.
If you really want to have a big jump, you have to go back so that you can get the speed and the force to be able to jump.
Wow.
So that was the thing that was like a motivating factor. But my story did not start like this. When for some years back, I mean, we've been in this country for say 12, 13 years.
Hmm.
But it started from somewhere.
Yeah.
When I remember when I first came to this country, I had to live with someone. I had to live
Wow.
with Minister George. Then now he's a reverend and his wife, and we had to share a room. We had to be live with them. You know, a whole lot of inconveniences. Finding a job, it wasn't easy.
Mm.
It wasn't easy. Even taking prerequisites to go to school for nursing, it wasn't easy. Even the decision to make, it wasn't easy. But when we met the right people, they were able to channel us to the right places that we had to go for the
Right.
right resources.
Mm.
And like I said, there are always two sides to everything because some people might have been told the same story. They did not run with it.
Right.
So we ran with it. It wasn't easy because coming from Ghana, I was already a school teacher. I had my diploma in education. I was well established. But then
Mm.
here I am in America. My diploma in Ghana doesn't even cost me to have a sweeping job in this country. So I had to go back and do my evaluation and go back into nursing and digress, which was an entirely 10 360 degrees, which was an entirely new field to me. And
Mm.
I had to do it. It wasn't easy, but it was doable.
Wow.
Going to school, pregnant at the same time, and my pregnancy is not the fun one. It's not, it's the one that you can be on bed rest for a year. But I pushed through by the grace of God. I did it. I went to school. It wasn't easy coming from Ghana too. You have an accent to begin with. Some of the things sometimes they tell you you don't understand it, but you just pretend like you understand it. Oh, that. And there's some people even thought that you grew up in this country. So they say, "Hey, do you remember this show that happened when like 6 years ago?" And I say, "Yeah." I just have to go with the flow, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what they're talking about. I just have to say yes to be able to move the line because I don't know what they're talking about. And I know
Mm.
that a lot of people had experiences like that. But through it all, paying heed to the advice, the counsel, the help here and there, running around, it wasn't easy. But at the end of the day, was able to achieve what we wanted to achieve. And now life in America as an immigrant is a little better than it was in the beginning, but it
Mm.
wasn't easy. But it's doable. It's something that can be
Mm.
done.
Mm.
But but if somebody sees me today, this is what they see. This is
Of
how they
course.
know me.
Yeah.
So they, oh, she has a lovely life. She's moving around, easy going, nothing bad. She has no care. I mean, that's why she's talking like that. But it didn't start from here.
Mm. Mm. Wow. I like that. It didn't start from here. And the process, because like I say, sometimes when you come here, some people think that as soon as you get here, everything is going to fall in place. And for a few people, it does. But a lot of people, it doesn't. It's a process. It's like a journey. It's not a marathon. You just run and you're done. So it's a process to go through. But it teaches us something,
It
right?
does.
It teaches us something. Like the pilgrims, it was a process for them. Even getting situated, figuring out where to plant and what to do in a new land before they even could get harvest, and then institute a Thanksgiving or something like that,
Yeah.
right? It's a process. So, how does a process help us to be patient and thankful? I remember the first time I got someone to give me a coat, a jacket in America. I didn't have one, right? And it was quite humbling to know that I didn't have one and I needed someone to give me one, just one jacket for the winter. you know. But with time, you end up getting more of these. So
Yeah.
being thankful on your way to be, getting whatever, everything else that you're looking for, and being patient. How critical is that to our stories as immigrants? Like being thankful in the patience of, or the patient process that we go through. How do we balance that? Because some of us want it to be done like this.
Thank you. Yeah, I think there's a correlation between patience and gratitude.
Mm,
That's a big deal.
mhm,
Because if you are an immigrant and then you come here and you think that things will just happen quickly, it's not gonna happen. You rather become frustrated because you just want, like, maybe within a year you want to buy a house, you want to finish your course, whatever thing that you want to do, you want to, maybe if you're not married you want to marry. It doesn't happen that way. It takes time. And some people can take shorter years, others can take longer years. When we learn about the story of the pilgrims, they migrated from England.
mhm.
They left. They went to Holland. It didn't work. They left Holland again. They went back to England. It didn't work. Then they moved. They said, you know what? We're going to move and settle somewhere else. They did not know where they were going. But they got on board the Mayflower and then they landed in Plymouth in Massachusetts. But through that journey, that's why it's called a journey. It's a process. They
Mm,
went through a lot. They started like 102 passengers. Half of them did not survive. Half of them were even died before they even made it to land. They made the landfall, like the hurricane. And when they made the landfall, yeah, a lot of them died too.
wow.
Because the hardship that they went through did not stop them from perceiving their goal or achieving it.
Mhm.
They had it on their mind that we are going to get to our destination and achieve what we want to achieve. So nothing could stop them. They
Wow.
went through a lot of hardships in a very bad winter, but they did not give up. They lost their lives, but they still did not give up.
Mm,
They came and made something out of nothing. So this teaches us that patience, when we have patience and we continue to do what we're supposed to do, we'll
wow.
be able to achieve our goal. But it takes time.
Yeah, takes time. Takes time. And like you said, a lot of perseverance, you know, a lot of perseverance and community as well. Some of
Mm,
us, when we get here, even though we don't know anyone, we also don't make ourselves very friendly to be able to connect, to be able to have people that we can, surround ourselves with. And I think that is important because this Thanksgiving, for instance, if you don't have anyone, how can you, connect with the people around you, the people in your neighborhood, the next door person, just being able to make those relationships happen so that you are not feeling alone because it can be a lonely time
it
when you
can
have
be.
anyone. Yeah.
It can be a
Because
very lonely time. And like you said, in as much as we are going to celebrate Thanksgiving in a few days, like 4 days,
yeah,
some people also don't have anybody to celebrate Thanksgiving with. So this will cause them not to be grateful because They don't even see the need to celebrate Thanksgiving. But like you rightly said, if you want to make friends, you have to make yourself friendly.
Yeah.
If you are in this country and you don't know anybody, you're an immigrant, you go to school, you have friends, you talk to somebody, you have to make a friend to be able to enjoy what you want to enjoy on Thanksgiving Day. If you are by yourself here, your family is back home from wherever you're coming from. They might not even have the opportunity to come to this country to celebrate Thanksgiving with you. It's not easy.
Right.
So you make use of the resources that you have over here. At least you have somebody over here that you might know, or you might know a friend that knows a friend that has a family. So you need to make yourself available. You need to go out there and look for people, because if you don't do that, then you're just going to be a loner. Nobody is going to know you, and you're not going to be grateful by that, because you're going to be disgruntled when you don't get the things that you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can be readily available to you when you make yourself available and you make yourself friendly.
Wow. Yeah. So we can actually cultivate these relationships wherever we are, whether we are in school, whether we are in, visiting, wherever we are, we can still make these relationships happen. No one should feel that on Thanksgiving they don't have anywhere to go, they don't have any family to run into. I don't think that is what we want to have for you. So that is something that I would really encourage all of us. Look out for someone this Thanksgiving. Maybe someone in your neighborhood, right? Someone that you've met at school. Can you get together? You guys can just, do something little and share and build community, so that you can all have that fellowship and you can continue to build on that relationship. That is so
Yeah,
important, even
it
for
is
your
very
mental
important.
health, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even as we are talking right now, I have a daughter who came from Ghana. She's living here. She's in Illinois. She's far away from me. But she wants to make the conscious effort to celebrate Thanksgiving, and she doesn't have a right. So her story really made me happy, and I'm so touched by what she did. She took the last bus, because wherever she lives, the bus goes two times in a day. So if you miss it for the morning, then it
That's
means you
it.
have to wait for it in the evening. So she told me she left, she joined the bus in the evening, went to sleep at the airport so she could catch a flight at 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to go to a friend in Texas so she could go celebrate Thanksgiving. So how can this person be bored and not be grateful? Because she's making the conscious effort to go and be with her family, even though she doesn't have a family over here. So
Yeah.
this is what I was talking about, that we have to try. If you don't have somebody, doesn't mean that you should be alone.
Right.
There's always a way out.
There's always a way out. And like I said, for those of us who are also already established and we are already here, we all stand a good opportunity to give back this Thanksgiving, whether it's helping with a soup kitchen, with something else, something that we can give of our time, of our resources, because it's so easy when you are okay to forget where you came from.
It is.
Yeah. But let's talk about something like last week I was talking about the choosing gratitude book that we are doing for Fridays. It talks about the fact that remembrance is important for gratitude, right? And if we can all remember some of the Thanksgivings that we've had, the very good ones and the not so good ones. And the ones that we feel like, oh, this is a really amazing Thanksgiving, was really the ones that people that we loved and all that were gathered. We all came together. There was laughter, there was joy, and all that. And we have to remember. And the little things, about like you said, little things. If we can remember, we can also see how we can also give back, right, to someone, even if it's not as big as maybe come to my house. Is there someone you can bake a pie for? You can buy a pie for this Thanksgiving. So let's talk about some of the little things we can do. Okay. Because I feel that Thanksgiving is more than just as gathering, it's also as giving. And being able to give beyond our sphere of influence, the people we know, right? Is there somebody that we can reach, we can touch, we can help this season? It doesn't have to be a $10,000 gift. It's just a little effort. We are choosing to be grateful. This is how we also pay forward, right? We pay forward by doing X, by going the extra mile, being able to serve someone else. What comes to mind, Abba? What are you thinking? For
Yeah,
us to be able to.
I think it's a good idea. We should be able to give back to our communities, and we only don't have to give when there's a need to be given, but we have to give because we just want to be givers and not expect to have anything back. So, like you rightly said, if we have so much and we think about, remember where we have been in the time past, and think that somebody else can be in that situation where we have been, then this will cause us to give to people because we know that we were once there.
Mhm.
Once upon a time, you had just one jacket.
Yes.
Now you have 10
Mm.
different jackets from 10 different designers. Now, even if it's not a brand name, you're not going to wear it. But before, you didn't even know which one is brand name and
Yeah.
which one is not. You were
Yeah.
just grateful that you had a jacket because you were cold.
Yeah.
So now that we have enough and we have so much to spare, I think this is the time for us to give back to our communities. And sometimes we have to make the conscious effort to do it
Mm.
because last year I put out a lot of stuff. And if you want to give to somebody, you don't want to give something like that you don't like. That when somebody gives it to you, you throw it in the dumpster. That's not what I'm talking about. You want
Yeah.
to give something that is you cherish. Because I always say that when somebody is giving me a gift and they give me something that they will not use, they gave me a gift, even though it's a gift, but it's not going to benefit me because I'm not going to use it.
Mm.
So if you're going to give back to our communities, we want to give them something substantial, something that is going to be useful to them, something that is going to meet the need that we are actually trying to meet. Because sometimes we also give, but it's not enough to be able to meet the need. So,
Absolutely.
so like I said, there are two sides. We are
Yeah.
giving all right, but it's actually not helping.
I know. Yeah.
So I just want us to look at it closely and give back to our community because a lot has been put into us. Yesterday, I was talking to my husband because there's a turkey drive, and
Mhm.
then somebody told me about it. I said, why would I want to go take a turkey? Before I didn't have money.
Yeah.
So I could go over there to grab a turkey from the turkey drive. Now I have to buy some more turkey and go give it to them so they can give it to somebody else. I don't need to go to the turkey drive and take that turkey, even though it's free.
Mm.
I can afford it now, but some time ago I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I'm talking about. We have to learn to give back rather
Mm.
than to take, because at
Continue
this
to take. Continue.
continue to take and continue to take. And then some of the things that even baffles me is that sometimes we visit these food pantries, you go over there, you take all these foods, and you don't know
Don't
how to
eat it.
eat them.
You don't eat it.
So you just take them and come and throw them away. But meanwhile, if the person who actually knows how to eat it goes to take it, it's beneficial to them because that's their food. They know what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I will.
this was a discussion we were having yesterday. I said I'm never gonna go grab a turkey from the turkey drive. I'm actually, when I go to Stop and Shop, they're doing a turkey drive. I'll run into the store and grab maybe 4 or 5 turkeys and give to the police officer so they can also go give it to somebody else. I might not be able to cook the food for them, but I can buy the turkey for them. They can make the food themselves. I don't know whoever is going to receive my turkey that I buy, but
That-
at least
yeah.
we need to give back, and we need to make a conscious effort to do it, because
Mm.
just do it. That's what Nike says. Just do it.
Let's do it.
Because you always talk about it. Oh, I have to. I have to. I have to give the quote. I have to donate. I have to do this. I have to do that. When exactly are we going to do it? Is the question. Just
Mm.
do it. Just get up and do it. How hard is it? If you want to donate, just get up, get your phone, donate. If you want to give to the community, just go to a food pantry, buy the groceries, go give it to them. Just drive over there, give it to them.
Let's do it. You
Just
know,
do
I
it.
think that's is something very important that you just said, because I also found out, like, for us, again, sometimes as immigrants, we do like to be at the end of always receiving.
Mhm.
And I feel that there is more of a blessing in giving than receiving. There are times, like when you come and you're new and you are starting off, that you be at the receiving end and you receive. But we have to grow out of it, because we get to a place where we can afford. We
Mhm.
shouldn't be the ones continuing to take
To take.
just because, just because, but rather we get to that place where we begin to give, we begin to do more than just keep taking and keep taking and keep taking. I think there's really something to be said about giving. There's something, and that is something that I'm hoping that we will change the way things are done, or it has been done. We will rise up as a community of immigrants and begin to give, like the pilgrims, right? They
Yeah.
came, they struggled through it, but when they got the harvest, it was time to give.
They
Some of
gave back.
our harvest,
Mhm.
we still want some more. We don't want to give anything. We're not ready to take some of the harvest.
They gave. They gave a whole lot. They gave to the Indian American, the native Indian Americans, because they were also grateful, because that guy Squanto was the one who helped them and
Yeah,
showed them all the tricks to planting, because they didn't know. They came here, they didn't know anything. So they were actually even planting the wrong things, and it was not growing. They were dying. So
yeah,
when that native Indian, American Indian Squanto guy came to help them, taught them how to plant, taught them how to get the syrup from the maple trees, they were grateful. That's why they gave back, and they invited them. So we need to learn from these people, because they did something great. When their harvest came, they did not keep it to themselves. They gave back as
amazing.
immigrants. So that's what we have to do. When our harvest come, we also have to give back. And this
Mm,
is some of the things that I've made a conscious effort to learn to do as an immigrant in this country, because a
absolutely.
lot has been put into me.
Giving to
I'm
us.
just speaking for myself. I know what I've received from this country, from
A
this
lot has been
country.
given to us.
A lot has been given
A
to
lot
me.
has been given to us.
So
We
it's
have
time for us
opportunities. We have
also to give back.
opportunities that we couldn't get in other places.
Mm,
Not even in, I wouldn't even mention some of the places, but in other places, you wouldn't get some of the opportunities. So
no.
here we are, we get the opportunities, and we have to be okay, or get to that place where it's now in our interest, or we feel like it's really important to give. I don't know how to put it, but recently I was talking to someone who was doing this GoFundMe thing, right? And she was saying, "Oh, it's amazing when I send it to my own community people. Nobody goes out there to do that GoFundMe.
Mm,
But other communities, when you send out the GoFundMe, they don't mind giving $5. They don't
mm,
mind giving $10. And by the time you realize the GoFundMe is like $10,000,
mm,
there is something about a lot of Africans, and I am an African, you know, and we feel like we have to give always a big thing.
mm,
So if we don't have $100 to give, like last week when we're doing our fundraiser, we say, "Oh, give and give." Someone is thinking, "Oh, $10 is too small. I'll wait till I get $50 or $100 or $30, whatever big amount we have in our minds." But we forget that it's the little things. I have a code drive that I'm doing this Christmas here. And it's not overly a big whatever thing, but I'm surprised how little things we can put together to help, with the community here. So let's talk about giving big and just giving, because sometimes you have to start with the little you have to
Yeah.
get to the big that you want to give.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So this is something that I always talk about. It's a discussion that I always talk. So every time I have a discussion with my husband about something that we need to do, then he's talking about something big, something magnificent. I said, look,
Just
the
start.
little thing that I'm talking about, I don't even have that.
Right.
Let me have that one first, then I can think about the big ones that you are thinking about.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand me? And this is something that we have to learn. It's
Mm.
because I've learned so much about these people, like Americans, like Native Americans, these white folks. They like to give, and they do it right away. They don't wait, no matter
Right
how
away.
small. They
Right
do
away.
it, and they do it right away.
Right away.
But that's one thing that I've noticed about we, the Africans. We say, "Oh,
We'll do it.
I'll do it. Let me see if I can get a bigger amount because I feel like giving 20 is too small." So we can start from somewhere. Just give the 20. You can always go up back and add up.
Mm-hmm.
Just take the initial step. That's one thing that we don't do. We don't take the initiative. So we want to do it, but you say, "Oh, wait, I'll wait." No, we have to give whatever we have right away. Then we can add up if you want to add more. Maybe I want to donate to charity. I only have $10, but I think the $10 is too small. I might get $50 next week, but they need the money today.
Yeah.
So I just have to give what I have today. Then when I make more, there's always room for improvement. I will add up. But
Yeah.
the first one I haven't done. I'm thinking about the one that I'm going to do. They said a bird in hand is worth two in the bush.
Yeah.
So if I have one bird in my hand today, it's better than the two that I'm aspiring to have that I don't know.
I know.
So we just have to do it. We just have to cultivate the habit of giving, no matter how small.
No matter how small. And just doing it right
And
away.
just doing it right away.
It's funny, I spoke to a colleague at work and we're just talking. We're just talking about something. And then I said, "Oh, this code drive that I'm doing, December 17th and blah, blah, blah." And she said, "Oh, I can help." Guess what? She went out there, got me the jackets like the next day.
Mm,
All these jackets that came in because someone decided, I can help and I can help now. With the little I can, this is what I can do, and I want to do it. I think that is important for all of us as we continue to
it
grow
is very important.
in our attitude of gratitude. Because when we start to think about it, overthink it, you never do it, you know,
True.
and that keeps us in that place of being receivers and being received. And it's good to be receiving, but it is more blessed to
To
be the
give.
one giving. And I'm hoping that we'll get there. I'm hoping we'll become a people and a group that is giving.
Mm,
That is giving. It's something that is really on my heart that we can always be the people you can look out for to give. And sometimes it's not even giving money. Sometimes it's giving our time.
it's true.
Sometimes it's giving our effort, that our skills, whatever we can, that will help to make things run better and do better. That is
It's true.
something that we can also give back. So as we come up on the top of the hour, I know, there's a lot of things to go and process and think about, but I want to share the story that I shared yesterday, and I want us to start thinking about that. I was
Okay.
thinking from the book that we are doing on choosing gratitude, how a church group went to the islands and they went on a mission trip, but they stayed in all these luxurious resorts. So they didn't get to have all the feel of the local challenges. But then they were taken to a leper colony. And there they had a worship service. And when they were about to end, the pastor asked if someone wanted a final favorite hymn. This is lepers, like these are lepers, wasting away. And guess the song that the one woman requested, who didn't have a nose, didn't even have a mouth, pretty much almost wasted. She requested the song Count Your Blessings. Count your blessings. And I want us to think about that and count our blessings as we go into this Thanksgiving week and even beyond. When we are tempted to complain, we can count the blessings.
Count our blessings.
Today you are talking about the gratitude journal. So let's talk about that. How do we count our blessings and take them one by one?
Yeah, because by not counting our blessings, we become ungrateful people and we become disgruntled people. So we have to make it a conscious effort to write down the things, the little things that we're grateful for on a daily basis. When I was learning about gratitude and what goes into it, this is some of the what the brain researchers suggest that we do. Like you keep a gratitude journal. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I always say that I respect what I write. When I write something on paper, I really go by it. I respect it. Sometimes I might have the thought in my mind, but I have not written it down. So it's just a lot of thoughts going in my mind and going wild. But once I put it into writing, it's more organized. You stick by what you write, you go with the plan, and you follow through. Right. So if you're able to do that gratitude journal, you'll be able to ponder over your day. What happened today? I went to work. Did anybody do something good for me? Did I do anything good for somebody? You give an account of your life on a daily basis. And this will cause you to be grateful. So the whole of today, I never said anything nice to anybody.
Wow.
It's going to make you check the things that you're actually doing. And when I thought about it, I thought it was very wise. Because sometimes little things like people holding the door for you, sometimes you may be going to work. When you get to the entrance, it's barge in, barge out. Yeah, somebody barging is cold, but they are holding the door for you because you are just like 3 steps away to the door. They don't want to shut it in your face. So they hold it for you to come through, and you just bypass them and slam the door. Or maybe go through the door and let them slam the door behind you. And they look at you like, whoa, did this just happen? This guy is ungrateful. And they might not say it with their mouth, but they just look at you. And next time they see you, they look at you in some way. Like you are very some way. You think I'm going to hold the door for you next time? No. So you have to show gratitude for little things like that. And when you're able to keep that Thanksgiving, the gratitude journal, you are able to be grateful for the little things that transpire during your day. And if you haven't done anything good for anybody, you also notice that. For the past week, I've been doing my gratitude journal. I haven't even said thank you to nobody, myself. So it's like a little check, like a little account of your daily activities, your daily life. And these things help you to become very grateful. Yeah. It's going to help you to become very, very grateful, because sometimes we have a lot of things, but we are so busy looking at what other people have. So we don't even see what we have, because we are busy looking at what people have that we don't have. And those people are also busily looking at what we have that they don't have. So it's like everybody is not grateful for what they have. But in order to break this cycle, these are some of the things that we can do to check ourselves, so that we'll be able to be grateful for the little things that your kids said to you, grateful for the things that they did for you. You know, grateful like little things. You're supposed to get a broom and sweep the kitchen. Your daughter gets the broom, they sweep the kitchen. They save you a little bit of time. Yeah. So these are some of the, even we don't have to take those things for granted, because They are family members, they are spouses, and they've done those little things for you. They are obligated to do those things. Nobody is obligated to do anything. They can choose not to do it. And that's also another story.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they've been able to do it for you, we have to show gratitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there something about comparing ourselves to ourselves? And sometimes that takes away the ability for us to be grateful. So as we end today, someone is watching maybe in another country and is wondering, there's no Thanksgiving here. I mean, so I am comparing myself to this ABBA girl who is going to have Thanksgiving next week, and I don't really see anything to be thankful for. So let's speak to global Thanksgiving, because can we be thankful even if we don't have a day instituted in our country for Thanksgiving? Can we still cultivate this gratitude attitude?
We are grateful as Americans that, I mean, when the pilgrims came over here and they established the Thanksgiving 1621, they were able to give thanks with their harvest. And then our like past presidents, Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, also instituted this Thanksgiving thing for Americans. And I think it's a very powerful thing that they did, a day to set aside to say thank you to God for all his goodness to us. But if you are not living in the United States of America and you are living globally in a different country, I think you should also be able to set a day aside for your own self to thank God. I think somebody should set the day aside for you before you can cook a ton and have a celebration and thank God for all the things that he has done for you. I think it should be a daily thing. I think it should be something that it should come easily to you.
Yeah.
You might not have a day set aside to thank God, but you can be thankful
Every day.
every day.
Every day.
And even people who live in the United States of America, yes, we are grateful that Thanksgiving Day has been set aside for us, but it also goes to us that we should also be grateful on a daily basis. It shouldn't be only we'll become mean throughout the year, and then towards Thanksgiving Day, then we become
You
thankful.
become very nice.
And become very nice people, and we like to want to give. All of a sudden, we want to visit shelters and give back to the community. I think it should be something that comes to us naturally. Nobody should set a day aside for you to be able to do that. You should be grateful and thankful on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And I found a quote that really, really, really sat with me by Melody BT. It says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow." I
I
thought
love
this
it.
was powerful words.
Love it. I love it.
Powerful words by Melody BT. So when we are grateful, it's actually part of our lives and it gives us a fullness of life. Ungrateful people don't have that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lydia, I see you. You said you want to be grateful every day. I want to be grateful every day as well. I think about you should read that again, and we have to put that quote out there this week so we can think about it, because it pays to think about it. Thanksgiving turns a meal into what? A feast. That's amazing. So let's read it one more time. We are ending. If you have any more comments, you can put it in there. I see all of you who have joined. Those who will join later, it's all good to see you. But let's close on this amazing quote that we just read again, and then we'll be checking.
So it says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more." This is what struck me most. what we have already. It turns it into enough and more. And it turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order,
Mm.
confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. By Melody Beatty.
Amazing. It
These
makes
are
sense of our
powerful
past.
words.
It makes sense of our past. Sometimes we don't
Yes.
see how the past is working towards the future, but when we are grateful, we are able to see how it makes sense that all this while it was a journey to get us somewhere. And so we just choose gratitude. We choose gratitude this week and every day so that we can continue to have an attitude that is able to move us from just what we have to enough, you know. Thank you, Lady Alba, for joining us today. I told you you're going to be so thrilled to hear this amazing Tadi girl join us.
I'm so grateful and thankful for the opportunity to come to Masterpiece.
Oh, we are happy to have you. I mean, Lydia says she needs a gratitude journal. I think that should be a one of the gifts that we put out there for someone to have this Christmas and to also use for the new year. So that is something that we'll put on our gifts list. You know, masterpiece gifts for the Christmas season. So look out for it, Lydia. You may easily get a gratitude journal. All right.
Woohoo.
Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a
Thank
great
you.
Thanksgiving. And there'll be no live next Saturday for Masterpiece. I want you to have a restful weekend and know that gratitude is able to take you from what you have to enough. And you can see a lot of changes when you start cultivating this heart of gratitude. So no matter what you're going through, where you are, just take some time and be thankful. Count your many blessings. Be surprised how far you've come. All right. So, from all of us here at Masterpiece, happy Thanksgiving in advance and
Happy
happy Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
globally. And we'll see you again in December. All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye.